Hello, y'all. I am documenting this. Today is Wednesday. I know typically you guys will see this on Sunday, but I'm documenting this because I'm not sure if this middle plant is going to make it to Sunday. So, I know I showed the bell peppers, and for the most part, they've been doing great. We know, like, not to expect any peppers for a while because these are, it takes a little bit longer. And again, this is coming from seed. So typically when you buy a bell pepper plant, they're already kind of in this state already, which is about, as we can see here, 76 days in. So you're already in that stage, if not more. And we know we have quite a bit to go. However, if you can notice, the two plants on the end still are very lush and full of leaves. But the middle plant, which looked similar to these at one point, as you can see in previous videos, has now dwindled away to nothing. And you can see that all of the leaves, trying to make sure this focuses for you, have pretty much withered up and turned brown. And it's starting to occur on some of the leaves here, not everywhere. But for example, on this leaf over here, it's super brown spots and stuff. And typically at first I was like, maybe it's not getting enough of something like food or whatever, even though the Aerogarden does tell you when to add the food and how much to put in according to the size of the Aerogarden. The water is one thing that I have noticed too. Like, I've only had to fill it up about once since I planted these, so in about 76 days, which is typically, it starts off slow, requiring water when they're little, but once plants typically start growing up, they start needing water more frequently. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm wondering if something's happening to these plants absorbing like too much water, because this doesn't look like a lack of nutrients. That would usually cause like discoloration, like yellow or whatever, or some other color. I've seen that in my other houseplants, but this seems to be almost like a fungus or some form of disease, because it's starting to affect the plants. And these were, as you can see, like just a week ago, these two were definitely healthy on the ends. So I'm not sure, and I checked my water. The water is fine. I even pulled up the root to see if like maybe it was getting root rot, but you can see even the stem is not, brown or looking diseased. It looks healthy. So I'm not sure what is causing this. So I think I'm going to contact Aerogarden and tell them about that and see if they will, let's see if I can even lift the root and I'll show you guys. Like, these are healthy. Like, these are not bad roots. Like, these are fine. So it's not something going on in the Aerogarden that's causing this, I don't think. It could have just been a bad batch of seeds, or pods rather. As you can see, it comes in these pods. And that is something that happens with Aerogardens, from time to time. Just like when you buy regular seeds or plants, at the store, sometimes you get a bad batch, or a few. It may not be everything, but a few. Sometimes things don't grow. Sometimes other things happen to them. They don't grow properly. And I think that's just what's going on here, because there's really no reason, nothing has changed about the environment that this is in for it to start doing that. And so, like I said, with this discoloration, this looks more like an issue internally than the Aerogarden or the water or something else. And as you can see, their roots are fine. They're not messed up. So it's not something with like the water or the nutrients that wouldn't typically cause all of this to happen. This is literally overnight. It went from having a few leaves that were dying to, like, if I touch it, like, stuff is falling off and they almost feel kind of soggy. So something's not going right there. So yeah, I'm just going to contact Aerogarden and I'll keep you guys posted on what they say. Unfortunately, this just might be an L. And that happens sometimes. It's not the first time I've had something happen with Aerogarden where, like in this situation, like these, which are herbs, I've had situations where some of the herbs did not grow, like they never sprouted anything. And that could be for various reasons. Maybe the seed fell out. Maybe it just wasn't a good seed. I don't know, but I've had that happen before. And sometimes when you get a majority that don't do that, it's just a bad batch. And Aerogarden's pretty good about replacing when it's something that's clear, where it's just like it was just a bad batch of pods or whatnot. So I think I'm going to contact them, but I want to show you guys just in case these plants don't make it till Sunday, because again, today's Wednesday, but as you can see, the one in the middle definitely took a turn like overnight. So all right, y'all, I'm back. You saw the update earlier. from earlier in the week. Today is Sunday, so I'm just giving you guys an update on what's going on. It's not as bad as it looks. So I did figure out what the problem was, and the problem is actually not the peppers themselves or the pods. It is the fact that the Aerogarden pump, if you're not familiar with Aerogarden systems, they do have a pump, which is what this black cord connects, like a water pump, that when it runs, it times itself based on what you're growing and all of that. But like every so often it runs, and basically it pumps water, which also has like the nutrients, the liquid food that we put in there, throughout the Aerogarden. And so like that's kind of how it waters the pods per se, even though yes, there's a tank of water and the roots are sitting in water, and that's what the problem is the pump is not functioning. It has stopped functioning somewhere along the way. Obviously it was functioning in the beginning, or else the plants would not have grown like they were, but probably in the past couple of weeks it stopped functioning. I actually ran a pump test, which you can do on the Aerogarden, and I could see like nothing was happening, like I wasn't even making the noise. So the water is not pumping properly. So I honestly haven't had time to really play with it. I did check it and make sure there were like no roots caught in there. I didn't see anything, and I actually removed the other two pods. They're still here and still alive. I just have them sitting in a bowl of water. So what I'm going to do is replant them in regular like soil. However, I don't have any plant food soil, so I had to order some from Target, which I was actually going to go do a store pickup, and then Target hit me with we don't have it in stock, so they gave me the option to just have it shipped to me, which will take a couple of days, but that's okay. So I'm going to keep these here in water. Hopefully they will be okay. They haven't seemed to diminish in status since they've been here, and they've been sitting in this water for a couple of days. I'll add some more water soon, but as you can see, like the roots were healthy and everything, so it was definitely not something going on with the plant itself. It was the fact that it was probably just sitting in the water and not getting the nutrients and all the other, and the water's filtered the way it should be. So again, that was just something that's going on with the actual Aerogarden. So I'm gonna play with that and try and troubleshoot and contact Aerogarden and see what we can do to try and fix that, because you guys know these machines are expensive. This one's a little over $200, so definitely want to keep it going. And it could be something simple as just like taking it out and checking a few things, but honestly I've been not really out of town, but I was in DC for my one of my school's homecomings this week, or this weekend rather. So I just got back home today, which is Sunday. So Friday and Saturday I spent in DC, and so I'm tired. I'm in a recovery from that, and so I'm not planning on going anywhere today. I'm not doing too much other than some basic like cleaning up around the house, finish unpacking, doing that kind of thing. But I'm really just on chill status today, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Had my soil been ready, I would have replanted those peppers, but can't do that. I left this one in the middle because it was so far gone. It's pretty much done, so we're just gonna let that one go on, because now you can see that the stem is actually like dried out too, so it's pretty far gone. These two are still healthy. Everything's still green where it should be, and the roots are healthy, so I'm gonna work with those and we'll see what we can do. However, the other Aerogarden seems to be progressing pretty good. As you guys can see, the dill has already sprouted to the point that it was time for me to remove the little plastic cup, because it was actually tapping up against that. So that's the dill. And the Thai basil has also started to produce. You probably see that little green peeking through. So it is sprouting. The other things have not started yet, although these are kind of early to some extent, because let's see, this Aerogarden has only been going for 8 days, and the time frame for these were 10 to 21 days, and then 5 to 10. So this one's on schedule, and this was a little bit early. And then the others, most of them have at least a 10 or 14 day, like at the earliest sprout time. So for the most part, everything else is, we just have to wait and see. So nothing else has sprouted that I can see in there, but these two have started. So just showing those. One thing I will say about the herbs, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but sometimes the herb gardens are flops. And what I mean by that is they just don't tend to all sprout. Like all of your pods don't always sprout. Like you will usually get some, and so far we see these two are definitely going to be okay. But I'm concerned about the mint, just because it said 6 to 10 days, and we're at 8 days. And if you know anything about growing mint, it's usually pretty quick to sprout and it grows pretty fast. So I'm not seeing anything down in there. I haven't taken the plastic pods off to really like check yet. So sometimes things hide up under the label there, and it may be growing and I just can't see it from this angle. So I haven't actually taken a peek, in-depth peek yet. But yeah, I feel like I had mint before, or another one before, and it didn't sprout. So that just happens. Like I said, it is a little bit early, so I'm not stressing it too much right now. But that's all so far for the Aerogarden update. Like I said, I may give you guys a midweek update when I do get these peppers replanted and see if they'll continue to grow from there. So it'll be my first transition from Aerogarden to soil. So that's that. But that's all for now. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. I will say next Sunday there will not be an update because I will be out of town for my other school's homecoming. So I'll actually be out of town in another state, and I won't be coming back until Sunday. So I'm definitely not going to do an update during that time. So yeah, so it'll probably be a couple weeks before I'm back, unless I do have something with the bell peppers. I may give you guys a midweek update on that. Other than that, I'll see you in a couple weeks, and hopefully with much better news and more growth in the herb garden. See you next time.